this map combines the base map with analysis chart, so it's much more easier for readers to read. And here is the land use map for the same area, And we can see that there's much more information on this map, but the structure is clear, and because they also use the different colors for each land use type according to the relevant requirement. And so it's easy to read and the structure is clear. And from all of these maps, we can see that the most important thing is to make your map looks appealing. And what will help you to achieve this goal is to find reasonable color matching and design an elegant appearance of your map. And besides of this, there's various themes you can choose from. So don't worry and just think about what you are interested in and what you want to make. And for students choose mapping group, we have 3 suggestions for you. First, you need to find a innovative topic for your project. And after that, you should collect enough data to make an atlas of various thematic map. And it is better to explain your map with charts and some text and some texts. And finally, there should be a thorough interpretation of your result. We recommend you to write a clear and concise report of it. And here is a topic hint for your map. As we know, the world is still suffering from COVID-19 pandemic, and GIS is a great way to help us make good decisions and helping people who suffer from this disease. So if you are interested, you can choose COVID-19 pandemic trend as your topic and make your own map for your country or the area you are interested in. Now let's come to application analysis map. If you are interested in analysis and mining special data, we recommend you to choose application analysis group. And in this group, you will have a chance to discover analysis and solve actual life and industrial application problems in your project. And here is the software requirement and judging criteria. Here we can see that for application analysis group, the most important part of your work should be solving processing. And before that, you should have a clear mind on what is the topic for your project and how to have a comprehensive and correct solution for your analysis and the solution you make. And during your solving for your solving processing, you should make sure you're using the correct data without any errors, and then using those data to do a thoroughful analysis and present them in the beautiful map. And also you should have a clear documentation on the analysis message you used and the software operations. Also, we require you to present us with an analysis report and a video to demonstrate the highlights of your work. And here is more software to use in this group. You can still use SuperMap iDesktop X, and also you can use SuperMap iObjects Java as well. And here is a way to earn extra points for your work. You can use the geoprocessing model tools in SuperMap GIS software and to build your own geographic model for your analysis or data processing, and submit the model you build with the work. And if your model works correctly, then you can earn these extra points. And here we will introduce you some excellent works from other contestants. The first one is a teamwork. This team wanted to design an urban underground distribution system. They obtained their point of interest using crawlers, and in their report, they represented them with clustering methods, which is much more informative than the ordinary points you can see on the left map. And then they designed a very clear, but also very clear and thorough workflow for their whole project. And in the project, they choose to compare two modeling methods. The first one is gravity modeling, and the other one is distance modeling. So in their report, they included their process of iteration for both of the two models, and to justify why they choose the one they use to finally design the distribution system. And from this work, we can see that it is highly possible to use GIS technologies to solve actual problems in life and work. But when doing that, you should keep in mind that it is very hard to have a comprehensive analysis. So it's time consuming, and you should keep trying to think what is the best solution and what is the most appropriate method for your project. And as the last one is a teamwork, if you prefer to work as an individual, then there's something you can learn from this project. This one is a hydrological analysis for Turkey, and they also presented us with all his operations in SuperMap iDesktop Java. And we can see that here is what he started with. And then he have some results in SuperMap iDesktop, but he's not just satisfied with the simple result. He also add a base map for his work, and also some extra elements such as the border here. And so this is how he finally presented his work. And from this one, we can see that although this is application analysis group, it is still important to make a beautiful and smooth map to represent your work and project. And your final presentation should have a clear demonstration on how you solve a problem and how the result looks like. And it is important to have a clear documentation on your problem solving processing. And This one is more interesting. This is a model shows the flight statute of satellite in space in 3 dimensions. And here we can see there is satellite flight orbits and also the rotation of the Earth. So from this one, we can see that it is very interesting to use a realistic model in your work. And it is possible to combine GIS with 3-dimensional data. And you can also take this as a hint for your novel topic. And now let's talk about development group. Now, for development group, we require the students to design and develop GIS application system combined with current mainstream IT technology. And the final system you present us should fully reflect the application value of GIS in various fields. Here is the judging criteria for development group. The most important 2 parts are system design and system implementation. To design your system, you should first have a novel topic comes from industrial application or find some new application in traditional fields. And you should design your system with a distinctive features in your functions, and using GIS technologies to solve the problem. And also you should have a clear and reasonable design scheme. So your system has complete functions and also reflecting the current mainstream IT technology and GIS technology. And for system implementation, the first requirement is that you should have a clear structure of your code and use enough rich data to fully represent the problem you want to solve and the process of how to solve the problem. And after all the work is done, you should make them as a complete package and submit it to us. Also, because you are designing application system, so the user experience is also important. You should make your interface friendly and optimize the performance of the map or scene or the whole system. Finally, you should have two documentation of your project. The first one is a document description, and the second one is a video to show the highlights of your work. And you can also earn some extra points in this group. There are 2 ways to earn those extra points. The first one is to use mobile SDK for secondary development and submit the work to Apple Store or other application markets and realize AR map and provide scheme recording of your operations. The second way to earn extra points is to submit your work in 2 application systems, which means you'd better make your system work both on web browser and also on cell phone applications. And And later on, we will have an example for this one. And there's much more software you can use for development group. SuperMap iServer is the core software for development group because it will work as the server of your system. And then you can use iDesktop X and iDesktop to process your data before you're really working on the system. And to build your own system, you can choose from iObjects.NET, iObjects Java, or iClient JavaScript, etc. based on your project design. And here is an example of a work worth 4 extra points. This one works not only on website, but also can be used by end users using their cell phones. And for cell phone users, they are our end users, and because this is a travel app, so the end users on mobile phone really are tour guides and tourists. And for the web end, the users are managers of the whole system. And the whole system is deployed using TomMac. And here is some emphasis on the functions of the system. We can see that on the mobile phone apps, it has the function of alert checking, group gathering, route planning, giving travel suggestions, and also tracing, so that it will help. So alert checking and group gathering and route planning will help the tourists to use this app during their travel and have a clear plan on their day of visiting. And the travel suggestions will help the users to plan their travel before they go. And tracing would help those who travel together to make sure that no one in the group are going to missing or lost. And here is the interface for the web end, which is for the managers of the system. Here, they can monitor the vehicles in the system and do some travel analysis for each travel site. And they can also manage the tour guide and tourist information and plan some travel route for tourists. So from this work, we can learn that it is highly possible to build a system based both on web and mobile. And to do that, you should design a complete functions for your whole system. And it is a good example for how to make a friendly user interface and make the operation of the system to be simple. And the base map for the system is also beautiful. And this work is done by a team, but you can also work on your own to build your own system. Here is an example to build a city travel network analysis system just by one contestant. Here is his workflow, and he realized most of the functions for network analysis. The first one is geocoding, and then is route planning, and he also have a heat map for travel frequency for this specific area. And here is an example of his code. We can see that this code is clear and concise, and they also have comments for each chunk, so it is easily for judges to read his code. So here we can see that if you want to make a system by your own, you also need to make sure there is a clear description of your system, and the code structure of your work should be concise and clear. And also the simplification of operation is important for any kind of systems. Finally, let's come to paper group. For paper group, we require students to submit papers based on academic research and technical application of SuperMap related products. We have some suggestions on the content. For example, you can present your work based on SuperMap GIS application cases and industrial solutions, or you can do some research on GIS technology development status and development trends, etc. And here is the judging criteria. Because it's a paper group, so the most important is your writing quality and the writing norms for academic paper. And you should make sure the topic you choose is important, and you have a scientific and innovative interpretation on the topic. The difficulty of your work is also our judging criteria. And if your work is published, then you can earn some more points for that. And there is honestly no limit on what kind of software you want to use for your paper, as long as you use SuperMap products. And there's some content requirement. First, your paper should have rationality, scientificity, practicality, and innovation. And it follows the principle of standard writing. And if you're working on projects for other groups in this contest, and you think your work is good enough to write an academic paper, then you can write it and submit it for the paper group. And the participant students in this group must be the first author of the paper. Okay, so this is all the introduction of the requirements and group for this year's contest. And if you haven't downloaded all the softwares you need to use for this contest, you can go to this website. You can go to this website and download our products. And if you think you need to learn more skills on how to use those softwares, there are some live training course. And the first training course start today for mapping group, and it will start soon. So don't leave us. And all the other training lives will go on Zoom. So you can just remember this code or scan this QR code. And if you want to have some more discussion with students in this contest, you can scan this Skype QR code to join Skype groups for discussion. And on the right is the Google Classroom code. You can join these classrooms to download some data and some data used for the homework for each live training, and also submit your work in Google Classroom. And for each of the live training course, it will begin on 4 p.m. In Beijing time, or you can remember it as 4 p.m. in UTC 8 time zone. And that's it. Any questions?
All right. Thank you very much, Zhang Mengyi, for your wonderful introduction of SuperMap GIS contest. There are some questions, but we already answered them in the Q&A box. So for others, if you have any further question, please feel free to let us know your question, and you can post them in the Q&A box. Okay, thank you again, Zhang Mengyi. And that's the first session of today. And the second session will be the first day training of mapping group. We will come back in 5 minutes. All right. Yeah, and I saw that there is a question is submit works in classroom. You mean homework or the project that I would submit for the contest? The first for the classroom, the submit work should be the homework for the training, but for the submission of contest, you can refer to the get document we shared, and there is an email address. You may upload your contest to work to the Google Drive and share the link to us through sending the email to the email address. Okay, so now let's continue with the second session, which is the first day training of mapping group. Let's welcome Jeffrey Zhang, who is the speaker and the teacher of the mapping group training. Welcome, Jeffrey. Time is yours.
Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, hello everyone, this is Jeffrey Zhang, and today I will show you the first day of the training for the mapping group. And for the first day's training, first I will give you some general introduction about the content and the homework of each day, and I will let you know how to follow my session and how to submit the homework. Yeah, When we talk about the mapping group, actually, generally we will use the SuperMap iDesktop software to finish all of the work. So this is the software, and this is the interface of the SuperMap iDesktop. For the mapping workflow, we will have several steps. So the first step, we have to download the software from our official website. And the website you can find from the document we upload in Google Drive link. And if someone meets some internet issue, we can also share you a Google Drive link to help you to download the software. And the next step, you have to use your own data about your own country, and we will also provide you the website to download the data. And then you have to input and do some data processing and make the thematic map, and also add all the features in the layout and also output, then submit your work to us. And for the requirements of your submission, you can also find from our GIS contest website. And for the mapping group, the training will have 4 days. So today, we will talk about the installation of iDesktop and some basic concepts. And the second day, we will go to data processing. And the third day, I will let you know how to set some style for the point, line, and polygon, and how to make the layout. And the last day, I will give you more idea. You can make some thematic map and have more topics. And also I will show you some awards over the years. So that is the main content. And for each day, the training, we'll have 2 sessions. The first part, I will show you some basic concepts and operation. And some operation maybe you can use in in your mapping. And the part 2, I will select a specific content, a specific topic, and like this training, I will let you know how to make a thematic map for Turkey. So I will show you step by step. So each day we will have these 2 parts. And about the homework, after each day our training, you can find the homework in the Google Classroom, or you can also find it in my PD slides. And you can see, for example, for the first day, we will have 4 targets. So you have to follow my step, and you make each screenshot for each question, and you put them in the Word document. And I have already uploaded a template of the Word document. So you only need to fill some information and put all of your screenshot in the document, and then you can upload this document to the in the Google Classroom, and make sure you have to modify the name of the document, so that we can know who have already submitted. So that is the about the homework. But don't worry, because after each day's training, we will give you an instruction document, and also we will share the video recording for each day. So you can, if you miss some points, you can find it in the video or in the document, or you can also send or drop your question in the Skype group. So our colleague will also answer the question. So that is some introduction. Yeah, so for the QR code, you can use your mobile, the scanner or the camera to scan it, and it will identify a link. So you can just click it directly, or you can copy it in the browser, then you can access. Yeah, so this is some introduction. So now let's start today's first part, the iDesktop installation and some basic concept. So the first part, I will show you how to download iDesktop. So when you go to our official website, you will find we have so many products. But for the mapping group, we would generally focus on the iDesktop. Yeah, so you can access our official website. This is the link. And if you go to our website, let me go to the first page. This is first page, and you can go to the download. And here you only need to select this one, the SP1. This is the latest version, and you can select this one. So this is a setup version. You can click this to download. And after that, so after you download it, you can extract it. And here, there's a setup.exe. You have to, yeah, remember you have to use the run as administrator to run this program. And yeah, you just click this one. And here I have already installed it, so I will not do it again. So after you install it, you will find it will create a short cut in your desktop, and also you can find the SuperMap software here. And so this is some installation screenshot, and you can see, you just click next, and here this target folder path, you can keep it or you can modify to D or E. And here we will select complete version. Yeah, so very easy to install. And after that, we need to check the license configuration. And actually for the people who is the first time to use our product, after you install the software, we will automatically active the trial lessons for 3 months. So you don't need to do any extra step to active the lessons. But sometimes if you haven't used the administrator to run the installation program, so you meet some problem for the lessons. So you have to go to the lesson center to do some configuration. So here I will show you. You can see after we install it, you can find the lesson center from here. And you have to also run it as administrator. Yeah, and here you can check your remaining days here. And if you meet some problem, it shows 0 days. So you have to send your PC name. You go to the PC, the properties. You have to copy this name and send to us, and we will help you to apply a new trial lessons. And then you go to here to select these lessons. And change the extension format, and then you open it and update it, and then you can active your lessons, or you can go to the you can copy the lessons and go to this file path and copy the new lessons here. And if you don't have this path, you can also create by yourself. So after that, you can go to the lesson center to check the remaining days again, like this. So this is about license configuration. Yeah. And after that, you can start the software. Yeah. Yeah, here I will not use the virtual machine. So here, yeah, so you can start the SuperMap iDesktop from here. And here I have already opened it. So you can see this is the interface of the SuperMap iDesktop. Yeah, after the iDesktop installation and the license configuration. So here, I will give you some introduction about the data structure, because you have to know which level is the highest level, like the workspace, to manage all the data source and maps and layouts. Yeah, so you can see this is our data structure. You can see the blue one, we call it workspace. So this one is the highest level. Under this root, you can manage like data source. Data source in the data source, we can have several database. And under the database, we can create some data sets. So here, I will also go to the software to show you. So you can see each root we can right click. So here we can usually we will create some file data source. So here we select new file data source, and we can put just set a name here. So this is one data source, and even you can create several. And each data source we can create, or we can see, we can manage the data set. So you can see this is all the format we support. Can create. Yeah. So this is data set. And in the map, and here we can also open some existing data source. So for example, I prepared so you can see, yeah, we can open an existing database. And also we have maps. For the maps route, you can see if we load one data set, so we can right click and add it to a new map. So you can see we can load it in a new map, or we can drag it directly, yeah, like this. So for the maps, it can save this map. You see, if I close and just put the name, so the maps will be saved here. And if you load it again, it shows here. So this is the maps. And also the layouts will, in the layouts, we can new layout. And here, this is our paper, our layout paper. We can add some maps and some north arrow, the scale bar, or the title here. So for this step, I will show you the third day. And also we can manage some 3D scenes, some 3D effect. Yeah, you can load your data in 3D scenes. And yeah, and here we can also manage some library like symbol library, marker symbol lines, and fill library like this. And so all the, you see the data source, the maps, and the resource will be managed by the workspace. So after we finish all the work, we have to save the workspace like this and set a name. And then you can close this workspace and you will find here. Yeah, this is database and this is workspace. And the extension format of the database is UDBX or it's UDB. So you can see if we open the workspace again, all the resources here. And the database, we have two formats, the UDBX and UDB. So you can, for the function is same, so you can select both of these two formats. Yeah, so let's continue. And also for the workspace, we also have two formats. And for the data source, you can see we not only support some file database, we also support some like some commercial or open source database like PostgreSQL, Oracle, or MySQL. Yeah, you can also configure the database first and connect in IDASTOR. And under each database, you can create or you can input some data sets. And yeah, for the layers, you will see if I load a map here, this is a layer manager. You can control the visibility and also control the editable. You see. If I active this pencil, now I can active this, I can edit this feature. So how to edit, I will also show you tomorrow. Yeah. And this is a map and layouts. There's some resource, 3D scenes. Yeah, so that is the structure of the workspace manager. And here we have a demo list. Yeah, here I have already show you some step, and yeah, here we only leave this one need to show. So for each data set, you can see like this or this. We can right click on this and browse the attributes table. So then we can access the attributes. And this one we can also add it, like you want to add a new field. So you only need to right click and go to the properties. Yeah, the attributes table. You can see here I can. And here you can modify the type according to your requirements. And apply. So you can, like this. So this is about the attributes table. And for the data set, just now I show you, you can new some data set. And also here, we also support, you can input some data set. So you can see we click here and click this button. to select some data. And we support, this is all the formats we supported. Yeah, now I think we finished some general concept of the iDesktop. And now I will show you some detailed steps related to our mapping work. So now I will use this. Yeah. So the first step, we need to download some data because let me show you our final work first. So here, for me, I will show you a Istanbul and surrounding areas map. And for you, you can download some vector data according to your country. So you make a map like this. So the first step is download the data. Here we provide you example link. So you can see, let me show you the browser. Yeah, so this is the website that you can go to here, the country level data. And here you can see, here we have a list. You can select your own country. And yeah, here select the admin areas and click OK. And also you can see this is all the type you can download. Yeah, and here I have already downloaded the data of Turkey. It's here. You can see this is the data and I extract it. So this is some shapefile. So now we need to input. So let's, yeah, this is the shapefile. Yeah, as you see, this is the result map we will help you to make. So yeah, the first, before we input data, we have to create a database. So yeah, let me close the workspace and yeah, and here we'll create a new database. So you can see. Here you can select UDBX or UDB and save it. So this is first step, very easy. You only need to create a set name. And step 2, you have to input all of the data you download. So here on this database, right click and select input dataset. Okay, and here is the button. You select all the SHP file. Yeah. Only select SHP file, okay? And select all and input. So this is all the shapefile that we input. So this is step 2. And step 3, so because this is the first stage, so I will not give you any work to process the data. So you only need to load them in the map. So you can see we select all of them and right click, add to a new map. So you'll find all the data will be overlaid in one map. And here, this step, you can also drag it directly. Yeah. And you can control the layer. And even you can check some attributes table. So that is the first day's our work. So the homework is, you see, the first step, install the software and finish the lessons configuration. And the second step, you have to create a data source. And then you download the data and input all of them of your own country, and then load them to the map. And each step, you have to make a screenshot. Like the first one, you can make 2 screenshots, an interface of software and the lessons configuration. For example, this one. And this second step, you make this screenshot. And third step, and the last step, like this. Yeah, and for the homework template, we have already uploaded to the Google Drive link, so you can find. And for the homework, I have already also put it in the Google Classroom, so you can also check the Google Classroom. And let me show you the example for the homework. One moment. Yeah, the document you have to write like this. This is the name for the document, the group name, mapping, and your country and your name. And I open it. Here you have to fill some simple information, and then the second part, you can copy the question and make a screenshot here like this. So here I only make 2 steps. You can finish all the steps, and then you can export this file to a PDF, or you can upload this Word document directly. Yeah, and and make sure you finish this work before the next day's training, because you have to get familiar with all the steps. Then you can follow the next day's training. Yeah, I think that's all for our first day's training. And the last one, if you have any technical questions, you can ask in this Skype group. So make sure you have already joined this group. You can use your mobile to scan this QR code. And also this is the QR code for the Google Classroom. Yeah, I think that's all. Any question, you can drop in the chatting room or the Skype group. Yeah. Yeah. And the one point for each day's training. Yeah, as I mentioned before, each day we will upload the training video recording link, and also we will give you yeah, I have already uploaded the instruction manual for day 1. You can see. You can also follow the step in this document. And the second day I will upload to the day 2 folder, so you can also find it. Yeah. I think that's all. And let me check the chatting room. Can I? Yeah. If you have any question, you can ask now. Can I connect Mongo DB? Yes, sure. You can configure it, and then you can go to iDesktop to connect. YouTube link, please. Yes. After our today's training, I will upload the video and share the YouTube link. Yeah, you can join our Google Classroom and to find all the material. And also you can join the Skype group. We will share the YouTube link and the meeting, the Zoom meeting link, and any other material in the Skype group. Yeah, for the conversion tools, you can find the, yeah, actually this is the topic for the second day, but here, I see you asked, so let me show you. So here you can find the conversion. So you can find that too in this tab, okay? Yeah, I think that's all for our today's training. Tomorrow, the same time, okay? You can use the same link for the Zoom meeting. And tomorrow, 4 p.m. Beijing time. Okay. See you tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Bye-bye.